Oh god.
In the video, you can clearly see Illuminati being caught red-handed taking Brian Deer's script and presenting it as her own. But let's hear that quote in context.
Here we go. On April 20th, Illuminati tweeted some head-ass nonsense to Legal Eagle, accusing his editors of copying her editor's style, which Mr. Eagle immediately pointed out was some head-ass nonsense. Much more politely and professionally than that, of course, and for which Illuminati has since apologized both privately and publicly. And if you've noticed, a lot of people on the internet had, opinions on the topic. I am not going to cover even a fraction of that. I want to focus in on one very tiny sliver of the overall brouhaha. Specifically, how YouTuber and Sobek enthusiast Hbomberguy seemed to take all of this very personally. My man was ready with the deep cut.
Personally, Illuminati, I would define plagiarism as something a bit more specific. For example, copying someone else's documentary directly into your script.
Let's hear that quote in context.
The clip H-Bomb took is indeed from Illuminati's Debunking Anti-Vax trilogy of videos from 2020. Harrington did not mention which one specifically, which made tracking down the exact clip really fucking annoying. It's from the second one, by the way. I actually ended up tracking it down through Illuminati's own video on the topic, Illuminati Exposed, in the Hbomberguy and plagiarism claims section, which is the video our boys were responding to here.
Why wasn't the rest of the stuff in quotation marks LOL?
This seemed weird to me because she literally explained why, right in the video they're responding to.
To break up the many words that would otherwise be just chunked onto the screen.
The segment is 4.5 minutes long, but clearly this is, how did Bob put it?
The masterclass in manipulation.
So.
Let's hear that quote in context.
Yes.
In 1989...
But wait, that's not the clip in context. If anything, you've removed context by shortening the clip. Not that these aren't convincing clips, she clearly does not cite the source in those clips, so it's obviously plagiarism, right? I mean, unless she made it really clear elsewhere in her video that she's just extensively quoting from this documentary.
You might recognize this name from earlier in part 1, Brian Deer. He's a UK reporter from Channel 4 who did heavy research into this situation. In 2004, Brian Deer came out with a documentary entitled MMR: What They Didn't Tell You.
Even the immediate context of the quote makes it pretty damn obvious that it was meant to be a quote. The full clip is just over 2 minutes long, from 8:29 to 10:31, and you know what?
Let's hear that quote in context.
I'm gonna make you watch the whole goddamn thing.
The next portion covered in the documentary focuses on the research behind his revolutionary vaccine that he made, and yet the process Wakefield goes through is convoluted to say the least. He injected mice with measles, extracted their white blood cells, freezes them, thaws them, mixes these with human cells, and injected the stuff into pregnant goats. And I just... I'm sorry, what? I'm no scientist here, but that doesn't even sound right to me. Of course, Brian did get someone to go over this process, Professor Rick Blumberg, an immunologist. And guys, I know I said this whole documentary is horrifying, believe me, it is. It's a great watch, but it is horrifying. But there was nothing funnier in the whole thing than seeing this man look over the research, take a deep breath, and just go,
I don't know what they're looking at.
Brian asks,
Does all this seem somewhat strange to you?
In a word, yes.
However, Wakefield didn't do this all alone. No, there was a joint inventor on these products, a man named Hugh Freudenberg, a former immunologist who has been long controversial. In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit with the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic patients with blood products. Then in 1995, he was suspended from practicing medicine and made to pay a $10,000 fine for his misuse of prescribing controlled drugs. So, what a great partner. That's someone I would definitely want involved in my measles vaccine. Sign me the fuck up. What am I even researching anymore? I need to go give Casper a hug. Where are you? Come here, Bean. Beanie. Yes, hello. Come here. Please, give Mother the cuddles. She's dealing with stupid vaccine people. So, It's all a lie. They put measles in a pregnant goat, and his partner was suspended from practicing medicine after he had a lawsuit with the FDA for injecting autistic children with blood products. So, all right, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, and I'm not even halfway through this documentary. The fuckery goes so much deeper than I thought it would, so let's just keep moving, shall we?
Now, as you can see and or hear with your eyes and or ears, Illuminati began and ended that series of quotes by citing her source directly. What the... I do encourage you to watch the whole series. It's very good, actually. But it is true, it's not always 100% clear where each specific quotation begins and ends. Shit's not exactly an APA format. But still, it's pretty clear that this
Certainly a poor editing choice.
is more accurate than this.
Drop the source from a quote and be like, no, I did it.
Copying someone else's documentary directly into your script.
So I find myself asking... Harold Harrington, Mr. Bomber Guy, how long have you been sitting on these clips? Like, did you watch Illuminati's trilogy while researching your own anti-vax video, get annoyed at your sloppy quotations, and just have been carrying that chip on your shoulder ever since? You BFFs with Legal Eagle now and need to defend his honor? Or is it something else? Maybe some secret beef that I don't know about, because... whoo boy, there seems to be a lot of that. At least Harrington Splimby seems to be getting some lulls out of this. Movie Bob, on the other hand, just seems pissed. He's going at her CinemaSin style.
If she were telling the truth, then that would actually read Brian Deer's documentary.
He says he found this year-old video by clicking on Illuminati's channel out of curiosity, but my brother in YouTube, if that were the case, you would really have to dig for it. And why? For what purpose? To give her shit for describing Centralia the exact same click-through generating way that literally everyone on the internet who writes about Centralia always does? To get another ding on a woman on the internet whomst is bad? Maybe for them sweet, sweet likes? Because he keeps going back to that well to roast her for... Oh my god, Bob, you know what? I'm fucking tired. Maybe you want to form opinions on which of these YouTubers was a shittier friend to the other one, but I don't. I don't know these people. They're not my friends, and neither are you. Tell me if this sounds familiar. A YouTube lady makes a kinda head-ass comment, and the internet fucking explodes. All kinds of assholes, including people she used to work with, former friends, maybe even exes, dredge up all kinds of shit on her, ranging from the mundane to the deranged. It takes her a little while, understandably, but eventually she makes a video about it, kind of on the long side, laying out her perspective on a wide range of related topics. You see where I'm going? What exactly makes this different from that? Like, I know that you're friends with Lindsay and everything. Well, at least H-Bomb is. But I'm not. I'm just an internet rando who hangs out in the same vaguely leftish online spaces where you create content. And from where I'm standing, these two videos seem to serve the same purpose. And I genuinely have no idea why this is supposed to be sympathetic, while this is emotional manipulation. What? Because Illuminati couldn't get through her script all the way without crying? Would it be better if she were drunk and sarcastic? If she did more 420 air horn Snoop Dogg meme, would that help her case, in your eyes? To get at this from a different angle, do you read your replies? Because this also seems really familiar. I thought you were against this sort of thing. I also thought you were against taking clips out of context to mislead your audience, but Illuminati didn't plagiarize. She directly quoted from a thoroughly cited source, and you just lied about it. And the subsequent dogpile is, at least in part, your dogpile that you keep participating in. To what end? To punish her for those tweets she deleted and apologized for? Like, just for the lulz? And that's why I made this video. Someone needs to tell you that we don't need anyone doing lolcows from the left. Y'all are being that guy, and you don't have to be that guy. Please stop being that guy? Hopefully my audio doesn't suck.